The Foundation Festival arc is a massive turning point in the Frieren story as one of the most pivotal characters gets eliminated. When we look back at all the previous arcs, it all trends towards particular messages that build upon the most important Frieren themes. If we look at the Foundation Festival arc, it pits every single message, lesson, and theme to the test of time. And ironically, a lesson of Frieren is the fact that nothing lasts forever. People will forget about you, no matter how famous you get. Acknowledged by Himmel the Hero and Flamme themselves, echoed by the current Empire's Emperor. Over time, history just becomes a warped reality of what the modern day and age thinks of the past. Displaced with something entirely different from what the original intention was. The Foundation Festival arc is just that. It puts the long-standing legacies to the test with mixed results, from Himmel the Hero to Commander Reve and Lyra of the Shadow Warriors, and from Flamme, the one that universally brought magic to the world, to Captain Frase of the current magic special forces. In this video, we will be going over what could be the most important takeaways in the Foundation Festival arc and what the underlying message could be, assuming that our main antagonist is Commander Reve and Captain Frase. But before we do, it's another day in the Frieren Manga hiatus. Yamada Kanehito and Abe Tsukasa finally had enough of all the changes in the scripts and said to the great mage Serie, take a good look at that flower. You, the feet goddess, you're cooked.
不合格だ。
One of the biggest Frieren motifs is being remembered. More specifically, the forgetfulness of the past. One of the best side characters that represented this on a more communal level was the dwarf Val, who even forgot what his wife looked like because it had been so long, and someone like Kraft the monk, who was far older than Frieren herself. The funny thing is, when it comes to Himmel the Hero, is that he realized all the flaws of what will become of him and the hero's party's accomplishments after defeating the Demon King. It's all going to be forgotten history, but what they actually accomplished will at least remain the same. And that's all they really can control. Yet, he did everything in his power to preserve that very history and the accomplishments to inspire future generations with the legends, epic stories, and statues meant to commemorate his journey. I mean, look at his swag. Unfortunately, the Foundation Festival arc does what? It presents the morphing, warping, and misconstrued beliefs of a period of time that only someone alive during that period can truly accurately represent. Thus, only a small minority are alive to tell the tales of what it was truly like a Frieren, Serie, and other immortal-like beings. Basically, elves are demons. Luckily for this fantasy world, there are such living creatures that can do that. However, we all know that's pretty much impossible for the real world. We rely on the scholars, the statues, and the preserved recounting of the past. Like in the Foundation Festival arc, characters like Commander Reve and Captain Frase become the result of decades and centuries of the old legacies that transform them into radicals. From that very same inspiration, Flamme and Himmel being humans makes this lesson of long-standing legacies even more impactful. While the legacy of an immortal-like being is teetering from her own apprentice she decided to raise on a whim, without Flamme and Himmel being alive, it is in the hands of the next generation to perceive, believe, and to continue that peace before history repeats itself once more into endless wars, leading to the deconstruction of the current superpower, which the story already hinted at the Empire's current instability. How do we know that the current Empire is falling apart? The Emperor has said so on a couple of occasions. One after Captain Frase dips off with her own secret plan that she won't tell the Emperor, and the one from Serie's prophetic dream where she can't be the clairvoyant person that beat Serie because her physical features are that of a northern lander. And if she was clairvoyant, she would have used that to the Empire's benefit rather than its current decline. What Himmel the Hero represents is everything we believe shonen is, and one of its biggest tropes was prevalent in the Golden Land arc, right when Solitaire got blasted from very, very, very far away, and the Goddess Monument arc when Hyther held Grossimov in time for Himmel to have an epic sleepwalking fight. What's impossible can be possible, and some things that are impossible are not worth chasing the possibility of, because what is required to test out that possibility, like in Mock's character of yearning for what it's like to feel the emotions of a human. It just so happens that to find that out, he would have to continuously backstab and slaughter humans like the Demon King did, wiping out the human population to 1/3 of itself during the Golden Age. So right there kind of presents its moral limits of what impossibility and possibility can be. So with Commander Lowe trying to get rid of all magic, that can be where the moral clashing of perspectives can lead us to. With chapter 147 dropping right before the hiatus, and like the hiatus before stopping at chapter 140, Kanehito has made something become very clear. Helt believes he is acting in the best interest of mankind, and it is something Lyra said in the flashback that resonates with the entire purpose of this arc. It's something Himmel the Hero would do, to take it upon yourself to save the world and to never give up. Yeah man, we're just gonna become some secret assassins, take the morality within our own hands, kinda like what you well said, yeet everyone deemed by me, I mean us, as bad. You're not taking our goddamn feet, goddess! One of the biggest takeaways for me for Helt's character is the fact that he believes what he's doing is the right thing. And that tends to be a lot of us in the real world, like in politics. Whatever side that you're on, you believe that you are doing the right thing. And that's how we end up with scenarios like these, when assassinations are just okay. Taking away magic is okay. What Lyra's issue was back when he was the strongest warrior in the Southern Lands was his own personal strength. It was the fact that he couldn't be everywhere at once, often being too late to help someone somewhere. Maybe Commander Reve's way of saving the world by eliminating all magic in the world means to even the playing field that magic may be seen as too lopsided for the ordinary human to handle. To save humanity can mean granting people the ability to do so, or taking away other people's ability to overwhelm others. That's why the elimination of magic makes logical sense here. If Himmel can help people believe beyond what they can imagine from impossibility to possibility, then the same can be said for motivations more nefarious. When the Shadow Warriors met up for their meeting to eliminate Frieren's party, Gazelle was the first vocal one to have doubts that they could take down a person that's been alive since mythical times. That's when Schritt helped them believe, not only in his matchup against Stark with some help, but with the holy symbol presented to him that Commander Reve passed on to Schritt to pass along to Gazelle. Only a great mage would be in possession of one of these, and it is said that Commander Reve was the one that yeeted the great mage Minas the Witch 20 years prior. Schritt even used the line that most mages know personally when it comes to creating new spells or getting over obstacles. It's said that in the world of magic, what you can't imagine can't be actualized. This to me shows that the entire Shadow Warriors mission is using the very lessons behind Himmel's character to take down a godly figure that even Frieren can't imagine defeating. The imagination itself is the most frightening part, because that is the first part of making it a reality. So that is what I believe the clashing will be between the Shadow Warriors in the Continental Magic Association with Frieren's party. If both sides carry on these values of impossibilities being possibilities and can imagine the unthinkable that takes them beyond Serie's expectation and imagination, then what happens next? what is the lesson if all things are equal? Each side should not be underestimated, and they all believe that they can get over their obstacle. They can. Imagine it. Captain Frase's character has been an interesting one because her secret plan kept from the Emperor is shrouded in mystery, while everything we have to work with so far is just implied. So what we do know is how she is viewed by others like Gluck, Kanona, and Dinkin. Dinkin has always been reining her in. Gluck sees her as a villain. Vice Captain Kanone of the Magic Special Forces, aka Lineal, always struggles to figure out her end goal. Even Noe describes Captain Frase as someone that has the same diabolical sensibilities as that freak, Ubel. This is what we do know of Captain Frase's personality and history of her decision making by everyone else's account. How this ties into the legacy of Flammes and the Empire is the fact that all of her decisions are for the eternal prosperity of magic in the Empire, along with telling the Emperor that our Empire has over 1,000 years of history and it's going to continue until the day that every single person in the world can use magic. This to me, like Commander Lowe with Himmel's inspiration, echoes the same sentiments of the legacies before them. In this case, Flamme was the one that brought the beauty of magic to the world, symbolized by her favorite spell that involves creating a field of flowers. How can something meaning to be beautiful be championed by something described as a villain, like Frase? I guess Flamme did train the mages in the Empire for militaristic purposes too, and basically set up Frieren to train to use magic to yeet the Demon King. Then after that, maybe she can enjoy magic a little bit more, which she is currently doing. However, like magic itself, there is always going to be a push and pull from something that can be used to cause harm to something that can be used for something more convenient, like getting busy. It's been hinted between Kanone's interaction with Frase multiple times that Frase might also want Serie to be yeeted. Given Serie's prophetic dream, there seems to be a purpose behind why she ultimately would want to take down Serie, given that Serie has always despised Flamme's wishes to grant magic to the world. There is a natural philosophical clash between someone that believed in Flamme versus the living grimoire gatekeeper, the great mage Serie, Ashi no Megami. A clash between the two makes more logical sense. If you believe that Kanona is the undercover first-class mage Lineal, like I do, and is finding every chance she can to convince Frase to allow her to step in at the festival ball to help corral all these shadow warriors in order to save Serie. There are several moments that seems like Frase is somehow in the know or at least suspicious of Kanone. But as of right now, she seems to be waiting patiently for something else to happen before the Magic Special Forces make their move. In the end, I believe Captain Frase wants to bring magic to the entire globe, like Flamme wished, while Commander Reve wants to do the opposite and take it all away. Both seemingly wants to yeet Serie. It could be that the decline of the Empire stems from the idea that magic is either helping or hurting the Empire in terms of progress, or even outside potential threats due to magic. What we can see here is every Frieren theme, motif, message, lesson, or whatever word you want to use that symbolizes everything we learn about the importance of the Frieren story. It all seems like it's in a philosophical clash. The themes are neither good or bad. It is just something that it is, and it is being applied by various perspectives. Captain Frase believes the Empire will continue, although it is on the decline. The idea that nothing lasts forever, mentioned by Himmel, Flamme, and various other characters, are putting this current Shadow Warrior situation to the test. Commander Lowe believes that the heroic thing to do is to remove magic from the world for the betterment of humanity, and by doing so, represents all the characteristics that led Himmel to defeat the Demon King by way of actualizing an impossible belief. In his eyes, he is a hero. Ultimately, one side has to give, and I wouldn't be surprised if the arc ends on a mixed bag to show that there isn't necessarily a right answer, because humanity is unpredictable and it's always in the hands of the next generation. While Frieren understands and lives side by side with both Himmel and Flamme, humanity is always going to be in the hands of tomorrow, with people fighting over what Himmel and Flamme actually represented and wanted. Frieren said it herself, we are in the age of humans. So maintaining peace isn't going to be in the hands of immortals like Serie and Frieren. It is going to be in the hands of future Commander Reves and Captain Phrases of the world. Only those around them and themselves can help themselves understand what they are doing for the world is better or not. What I'm basically saying here is there's still a strong chance that Serie gets yeeted and humanity may still be fine without her. I'm afraid of an outcome like that, but narratively it feels sound. It's just bittersweet when you have a great character like Serie get off. At the same time, I believe that the ultimate lesson will be in the hands of Captain Frase and Commander Reves, in which in turn, if they pass away, it might be to the other Shadow Warriors. And in Captain Phrase's case, if she does end up passing away, like in Serie's prophetic dream, it might be passed on to a Lineo, a Lowe, and other Magic Special Forces members. The future of humanity is always going to be in the hands of the Tomorrow Legacies. And that message can still be told with Serie being alive. If she does ultimately get saved, there's definitely going to be tremendous character development for her. That she believed in her own first class mages that she was really disappointed in. But still, they all went beyond her expectations and imagination. To finally concede that her way of thinking needs some revisement, there is some narrative satisfaction there that she will have to have with Frieren there at the end. And we already know that other elves are still alive, like a Craft the Monk, so Serie being alive isn't like just a one-off thing. We have to believe that someone like Craft has went through a ton of situations where he still survived in the end. So yeah guys, let me know what you guys think the ultimate lesson or message will be in the Foundation Festival arc. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.